It's so great to join you during this Holy Week. Today I'm going to talk a little bit about Maundy Thursday, and it's kind of a funny name, Maundy Thursday. What does Maundy mean? Maundy actually is Latin for mandatum, which means a command or an order. And this is where Jesus talks about the command. We're to love one another just as I have loved you. And the context here is that Jesus is getting to sit down for the Last Supper. He's getting ready for the crucifixion, so he's obviously has a time here where he's with his friends. And John writes in John 13 that God has given Jesus all power and authority, that Jesus was getting ready to leave the earth and come back to be reunited with his Father in heaven. And during this supper, as Jesus was demonstrating love, he actually got up. It says that he got up from sitting down as they were reclining during this Passover meal, and he took out his outer garment, his jacket, and then he tied a towel around his waist. And then he found a basin and he poured water into this basin. I'm sure the disciples are like, what is Jesus up to here? And it says that Jesus began washing his disciples' feet. Now, a servant of that magnitude is the lowest of low. And as Jesus was washing the feet of his disciples, and think of it this way, the disciples were going to abandon Jesus at the cross, and Judas was going to betray him. But Jesus washed their feet. And one of my favorite parts of this story is that where Jesus comes up to Peter, and Peter says, Jesus, in no way are you going to wash my feet. No way. This is beneath you. You shouldn't be doing this. And Jesus says, Peter, if I don't wash you, then you could have no part with me. We can't be partners. And I think Peter grasped this idea that this is a partnership. And then Peter said, well, Jesus, not just my feet, but my head and my hands as well. So Peter gets doused, if you will, with this washing. And Jesus is talking about partnership here. And I find it interesting that after he washes the disciples' feet, he puts everything away and he puts back his outer garment and takes off the dirty rag. And just the process of foot washing is really almost degrading, because first, feet are gross looking. I'm not a fan of feet. They smell, they stink. Back then they were walking on dirt roads. And so this idea of washing feet was for the lowest of the servant when you would enter somebody's home. And so the fact that Jesus did that, Jesus says in John 13 that he gives us a picture. He says, guys, this is a picture. This is an image, a snapshot of what it means to wash each other's feet. And it's by loving each other. It's by the Son of Man came not to be served, but to serve and to give his life as a ransom for many. And so this is the picture that we get, that Jesus says, look, it's about humbling yourself, Peter. It's about humbling yourself, disciples. And if we're to apprentice under Jesus, we need to be professional lovers. And I just want to tell you, loving your neighbor, loving the command, the mandatum that Jesus gives is that we're to love one another. Loving people is a hard thing to do. It's not easy because sometimes people just drive us crazy, whether it's our own family, whether it's people at work or our neighbors. But relationships are hard, and Jesus knew that we need to partner with him as we learn to love each other. So Jesus gives this wonderful picture of him humbling himself and washing the feet of these disciples. And so I love this picture. So Maundy Thursday really is this image of foot washing and this command that Jesus gives us that we are to love each other, that we're to serve each other, and we do it by action, by love. And of course, in this we partner with Jesus, because I cannot love without the power of the Spirit in my life. And so Jesus wants to partner with you this season as we look to Good Friday service and we look to Sunday and the resurrection, that this is a partnership, that Jesus is relational, and relationship is everything to him. And so him partnering with his disciples is a way that he's expressing his love. And we're to do the same. Now, just what I did, Jesus says, now you and go do. So Lord, thank you for the practice of Maundy Thursday. And God, thank you for the picture that you give us to demonstrate what it means to love each other, Lord, to humble ourselves, to become servants as we want to apprentice under you, God, this season and this year, God, as we look into a post-Easter year, God, we want to apprentice and learn from you, and thank you that you will never leave us and that you're with us every step of the way. Amen.